Hello everyone and welcome to Liverpool. I'm in the city centre visiting one of my friends who live here, and I'm really excited. I haven't spent time in this city for such a long time, and it's one of these places with a really good energy, a really good vibe, loads of history and a fascinating culture. So I'm going walking around today. I'm hopefully going to rediscover some sites that I've seen before, get to know them a little bit better and really benefit from this fantastic city in the northwest of England. We stumbled across this small but vibrant pub that was playing live music from the 60s, so we decided to have a look inside. We bought ourselves a drink and enjoyed the crack in this quirky watering hole.
I got something to say that's gonna cause you pain. I got you talking to that boy again. I'm gonna let you down and leave you flat. I'm gonna let you down and leave you flat. I told you before, you can't do that. That's the second time I've got you talking to you. I'm all shook up. Oh yeah. Oh, my hands are shaking and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. I really ain't playing the way we have such luck. I'm all shook up. Oh yeah.
I'm just walking down Dale Street now in the city centre of Liverpool and just soaking up the atmosphere really of the city centre. It's such an interesting city, it's such an interesting place, and you can really feel all the history, the old buildings, and the architectural style here is really classic, but an interesting mix of traditional and modern, which works really well. We've decided to stop for a snack. We're going to this Colombian street food place called the Twins Flavour, which looks really good. And yeah, this is just a short pit stop to try some of the interesting multicultural food that they have here in Liverpool. And this is our snack for lunch. This is empanadas, one with chicken, one beef. Authentic Colombian cuisine, right in the heart of Liverpool city centre. Looks very good.
Con picante.
Picante. So these are the empanadas they have on offer here. Very cool little Colombian cafe. So lunch was really nice, really good flavours, nice chicken empanadas with some spicy sauce. Definitely recommend this place. So on Dale Street, it's a very big avenue that leads to the city centre, but it's got all of these really interesting small little lanes that lead off it, like this one called Leather Lane. And you can see the interesting architecture that they've got off the main streets as well, down these small lanes. I think this is a big pub. This is the back of the pub. We've got hairdressers there. As you walk off the main streets, there are quite a few abandoned buildings like this. And they've got some really interesting street art and murals, as you can see here. And on that building as well. So it seems like Liverpool's going through a transition, like a lot of places, redesigning the old buildings and building more modern ones. So we're now walking into the financial district. This is a very modern part of the city, a lot of building going on, a lot of development going on, and very modern buildings. Looks a little bit like the City of London, the mix of old and new buildings, but very elegant, very smart, nice design. So I think this central square is a viewing area for people watching sport. They've got the cricket on at the moment, and there are lots of coffee shops and restaurants dotted around the place. Just a reference, this place is called St. Paul's Square, this financial office area. So right now I'm at Moorfield Station in the centre of the city, and it's interesting to note that Liverpool has got its own underground. It's called the Mersey Rail. So I think it's partially overground and underground, but it's a fully comprehensive network of trains that serves the whole area of Greater Liverpool, and it's one of the few cities in the UK that has that, so that's something special about Liverpool itself. So we've now stumbled across this square right in the centre of the city with some interesting old buildings and a tapas bar and a Brazilian grill restaurant called Fazenda, which also looks really good. Yeah, so this place is really beautiful, very well preserved, very well kept. Another really beautiful part of Liverpool. So this is the Liverpool City Hall. Yeah, and it's got this really impressive temple face on the front. And then this leads on to Castle Street, which is one of the main streets in the city. Yeah, with loads of shops, pubs, restaurants, and it looks like this area is pedestrianised as well, so good for walking down, soaking up the atmosphere, having some food, having a drink. So here you get a slightly better view of the town hall. Even though it's a city, it's called a town hall. And just off Castle Street, they've got this Queen Avenue, which looks really interesting. It's like a small arcade of shops. Got a hairdresser, wine shop, got a restaurant and some cafes as well. Yeah, so Liverpool's got lots of little streets leading off the main streets with interesting things going on. Very elegant. So now we're just a little bit further down Castle Street and just admiring the view, really. So even the Cafe Nero has got a really interesting old building. Looks a lot like central London, actually. And right down there is the docks. And here is a Brazilian restaurant called Viva Brazil, which looks good. So predictably, we've ended up in a Brazilian restaurant for lunch. This is called Viva Brazil, and they've got a special lunchtime menu for $14.95. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this is like, see what the Brazilian food in Liverpool is like. It looks good, and yeah, we're both really hungry now, so good times. So this is the buffet. Got a mixture of hot and cold, so we've got salads, but they've also got some feijoada and rice. Yeah, it looks nice. So I'm starting off with some healthy food. So we're just finishing up lunch now. It was really good. We got the lunchtime menu for $14.95, and we had lamb, chicken, beef, and the unlimited salad and hot buffet, which was also really good. Yeah, so now I'm predictably really full and ready to go out exploring Liverpool again. But this place, Viva Brazil, is a really good place, and yeah, it's just off Castle Street. Really recommend it. Really good service as well. So yeah, nice restaurant. So we have now had lunch. We've left the restaurant and we're heading down Brunswick Street, I think it is, down towards the dock. So we're now on a street called the Strand, and this is a pub called Jurgen's, which I'm assuming is a Liverpool theme pub or bar. Right in front we've got the Liver building, I think it is. And I think these are known as the Three Graces of Liverpool, these three buildings here. And just down there is the dock or the harbour. Yeah, so this is a really busy thoroughfare. So this one is called the Cunard building. I think this is the back side of it. Yeah, Cunard building, which was obviously an important shipping company. Yeah, you can just see the liver birds at the top. So from here you can see a really good mix of the old buildings and the new buildings. So you've got the church in front, and then you've got the modern apartment blocks and offices behind there. Very cool. And in case you didn't know it already, Liverpool loves you. So this is a place where you get the ferry to the Isle of Man if you want to go to the Isle of Man. So they've got foot passengers, cyclists and car check-in right here. I think it must be one of the few places where you can get a ferry to the Isle of Man in the UK. So now we're right on the banks of the Mersey. I think this bit is called George's Parade. Yeah, George's Parade. And this is a famous part of Liverpool. The docks down by the Mersey. So there's quite a lot going on here. I think it's a bit of a focal point for the city. And this is where you go to get a ferry across the Mersey if you're going over to the Wirral or to Birkenhead. In the background there you've got the Museum of Liverpool, and then you've got the Three Graces buildings, and you can get a slightly better view of the Liver building here with the Liver bird at the top. Yeah, so this is a pretty iconic part of the city. I think especially the Liver building is one of the most well recognised landmarks in the city. And if you look straight down this street, you can see all the way up to the town hall where we had lunch a bit earlier. Really impressive architecture. Here we have the first bit of Beatles memorabilia or Beatles tourism with the Fab Four store at the Beatles Story. So I think this is where you can buy a ticket to go to the Beatles Story, which I think is in the Albert Dock. And here is where you buy your ticket to get on the Mersey ferries. I think you can do a river cruise, or if you want to go over to Birkenhead you can do that as well. Yeah, they got sightseeing tours also. And got the Fab Four Cafe. Very cool. And here we have the iconic statue of the Beatles, the Fab Four. This is Instagram Central, I think. We've got some live music as well, which is good.
it's gonna be. Well, alright, it's right time.
So if you are a Beatles fan, this is a must to come and visit the statue. I think the statue's relatively new. I don't think it's been there that long, probably like 5 years or something. Yeah, but it's just soaking up the atmosphere of being by the Mersey, being in the iconic bit of Liverpool by the river, and with the Mersey ferry as well. It's just got a great atmosphere, great vibe, and yeah, it's just fun being here. It's just got a really good feel, really good atmosphere, this city. A lot going on, a lot of history, a lot of culture, and a lot of music, that's for sure. So here you can just see a ferry going over to the other side of the river, crossing the Mersey. And right on the other side you can see Birkenhead, the town of Birkenhead. The river is particularly wide at this point, so yeah, it feels like quite a long way away. And then if you go down there, that leads down to the Irish Sea. Yeah, so this is a really beautiful part of the city. And here you can just see a few buildings in Birkenhead on the other side of the river, on the river banks. So here you can see the old buildings right next to the modern buildings. Got this black building that stands out amongst the white buildings here. And here you can see the Museum of Liverpool in a bit more detail. So very modern, interesting architecture compared to the traditional classical style of the other buildings around here.